my question to you: if we was to trade Batman to Marvel and Iron Man to DC, which side would make out better?
Definitely think Marvel's side would make out better. Marvel doesn't have a character like Batman.
Nobody has a character. Batman is like the
And
character.
you know
You
what
know,
made me realize that, Sean? The
The
exact
Dark Knight.
moment that no, the exact moment I realized that Batman was one of a kind. I was reading this book. I think it was called. It was an Alex Ross book. Beautiful artist. If you've ever heard of Alex Ross, if you haven't, go check out his art right now. It's such good artwork. Um, but I was reading this book, and the Justice League was asked to come to the Pentagon, right? And yeah, that's my Sammy showing off my Fantastic Four signed copy by Alex. I love Alex. He's such an amazing artist. Anyway, I'm not going to show you some of his shit. That takes time. But anyway, so the Justice League is sitting here in the Pentagon. Batman is not there. They've tried to get a hold of him. They can't get a hold of him. They don't know what's going on. There's a panel where Martian Manhunter, it's like he's sensing something. And if you don't know who Martian Manhunter is, he's the green guy that kind of has the straps that go across his chest and the cape, the last Martian. That's who Martian Manhunter is, John Jones. And you see his little text bubble that says, I know you're there. And fucking Batman sticks his head out of a goddamn air vent in the Pentagon and goes, yeah, I didn't know if I needed to be here or not. That's the moment, Sean. I was like, how are you going to beat that? Explain to me how you're going to beat that. You can't beat that. So again, I think your question, I think DC would have fun with Iron Man, but I think they would have more fun with Tony Stark rather than having more fun with Iron Man. But Marvel would definitely have the benefit on that one, in my opinion. You agreed?
I
I
agree.
mean, I'm biased. I love Batman more than anything
Oh, I'm
else in the
totally
entire
biased, but let's
world.
be
So
real. I mean, because DCR has so many millionaires or billionaires already, right? Maxwell
Batman
Lord,
speaks to our souls in a way
the
that no
dark,
one else
the
does.
dark. I
Yeah,
agree.
and it has been a part of our culture for longer than anything else.
Yeah.
It speaks to the evolution of America. It speaks to the evolution of how we view superheroes. I mean, I just if you got Batman, you've got it.
Well, and Batman changed my life. I mean, it was the hero that my dad took me to see the first
Right, we
time.
all have those
So
stories.
yeah,
Batman, I remember everyone remembers where they were when they first experienced the idea of Batman. I don't know. And I think Iron Man is great, but it's just I don't think anyone's ever going to overtake Batman.
there you go, Sean.
The first instance of Batman I saw. What's the Batman series you own that's on
Brave and the
iTunes?
Bold. That's
No,
that's the one you got into. And then
I
the
got
Adventures
into
of
that.
Batman and Robin is what you're talking
That's the
about.
one
The animmated
I
series.
started with. Brave and
That's
the
that's
Bold I
but
got
that's when he
into.
was goofy. That's still part of the Adam West '60s television show.
Yeah.
But there's so many iterations of Batman though, like Flashpoint. There's a lot of people don't understand. Alfred took over the cow for a while when what's his
Right.
name Bruce Wayne's dad,
Thomas.
Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne died. Thomas
Right.
Wayne and Martha Wayne died. He took over the mantle. The Joker was Batman at one point. Robin was Batman at one point. Not just Bruce. I mean, like everything
He's an
was lined up
idea.
for everything was lined up for Bruce to receive everything. I felt like Bruce got it the easiest because he didn't have to work for nothing. He may have had the pain and stuff, but he didn't have to work for anything really because it was all laid out. He inherited the Bat Cave, the cowl, everything because all these people that came before Bruce fought for him to to basically. I'm not saying that Bruce ain't good because he's one of the best Batmans,
Right.
but everything was laid out to where he inherited everything from what was it Wayne Empire. I mean what was the name? Um,
Great
Wayne
enterprise.
Enterprises. Like so, he inherited billions, inherited company, inherited the Batcave, everything. So he kind of got a little bit easy. I mean,
It's an arguable statement because, you know, seeing your parents die when you're 35 is a lot different than seeing them die when you're 6.
I get that.
It's impossible to know what kind of trauma that causes and the price that he's paid. And not to mention, if you read the current comic continuity, which I do, I collect Batman every month. The Joker during the Joker War stole all Bruce Wayne's money. So he is no longer a billionaire. He is just a dude. So I don't think he cares about the money. And that's why I think he is such a great character. Because the money is just a tool to him. It means nothing. Right? He doesn't give a shit.
I agree.
Right. He says it in Batman Begins. Burn this fucking house to the ground. It means
Well, and
nothing
that's
to
what
me.
he's trying to do.
Right,
He's
right.
trying to burn it down by saving the city that his father tried to save.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
But I mean, like, I get that point. Like, it's not like anybody can be Batman. You know, you would have had to have been born into this privilege of
Well,
having the
you
money to
mentioned,
do
Sean,
it.
Dick Grayson, all these people that have worn the cowl. Yes, that's true. They have all worn the cowl, but it's meant something different to each one of them.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne, I don't put into that equation because that's kind of a it's kind of another dimension kind of thing. Elseworld kind of Batman, who doesn't have the same principles for different reasons. If you know the origin of the Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman, it's even more tragic than the Bruce Wayne story. Because
Yeah.
for those that may not know, in the Flashpoint Batman, uh, Martha Wayne actually is the one who is transformed into the Joker, and Thomas Wayne
And
becomes Batman.
and for people that don't know, the Flashpoint Batman, Bruce actually is the one to die, not Thomas Wayne.
Correct.
So
In the
so to
Flashpoint universe, Bruce is killed in the alley. Thomas beats the thug to death, and Martha Wayne goes crazy because she's seen her son die.
Huh.
there is another Batman too. I forget what his name is. He's like
Azrael.
um. There's another Batman too. I forget what his name is. I was
His
reading
name is
about him.
Azrael.
As
I know who you're talking about. I'm talking about this different Batman. He's like a godlike Batman. He's like millionth Batman or something. I forget what his name
Sweet
is, but
Batman.
yeah, absolute Batman. He's like a god
Great
basically,
series. Again,
and so
that is a reimagining of the Batman character. He's not born into wealth. He's born into basically an orphanage. His father runs, and his father is killed, and that's kind of starts him on his path. But you're talking about a totally different Batman. He's got like a fucking battle axe, and he's got like stakes that come out of his horns on his head, and it's not your regular run of the mill Batman. Just like the Last Night on Earth. Again, you're talking about a Batman who, yeah, he's not a god, by the way. Yeah, Deoxy makes a good point. He's just big as fuck and powerful. Um, so yeah, that is a great point, Deoxy, on that one.
um,
Go ahead.
but like a lot of people take the Joker as a joke. But the Joker was feared. A lot of people don't understand that the Joker became before he went crazy was one of the most feared gangsters in Gotham, and like to where people bended a knee. I've read some crazy stuff to where nobody went against the Joker until he went to where he went crazy, and so I mean, that was cool too. That was a cool concept too. I think, but
Sure.
I mean, Batman didn't
Yeah,
even exist at that point.
I like that they're exploring more with the Joker in the comics and the continuity nowadays. I really enjoyed Three Jokers. I thought that was a great story. I didn't like the ending, lame. But the actual story of it was great. So you're talking about different lore, Sean.
Yeah,
When you talk about the Joker, there are so many different backstories to him. The most common one that I identify with is the classic. He was a struggling comedian. He was basically duped into committing a crime with some gangsters that wanted to use something about where he worked. He was able to get in after hours or something like that. They wanted to use that. They go to pull the crime. Batman stops them. You have the famous confrontation between Red Hood, who that's what they did was they put this big red glass thing on his head that he can't see out of, and he doesn't know what's going on. He's hearing Batman and he's hearing gunshots and all this shit. And Batman goes to kind of try to control him. He steps on his cape, the railing breaks, and he falls into the vat of acid. That's the Killing Joke Joker, is what I'm talking about. That's really and again, like Kush said, it's all subjective, right? It's really your personal preference. That's where I like to see the Joker. What Tim Burton did in the '89 film, like for those who don't know, that's not how it happened with Bruce Wayne's parents. Bruce Wayne's parents were killed by a thug named Joe Chill, not by the Joker, who before that was Jack Napier. That's just not true. But it made sense for that movie, right? So again, I think it's always subjective when you're talking about a character like Batman. You're always going to find somebody who has their favorite version of him.
But
Yeah.
it's simple.
Yeah.
Batman or the Joker is selfishness and chaos,
Mhm.
and the Batman is the good of all. You know, and it's simple. That it's like the oldest story, good versus evil, you know, and I don't know. That it's pure.
No, you're
It's
right.
fine. I
For
love
as
the
much
Batman. Oops,
credit
sorry.
as we give the creators of Batman, we should give just as much credit to the creators of the Joker. Because that's just as complicated a character.
Right, because and that is why Batman is so compelling because
Right.
he has such a perfect nemesis.
Yep.
You know, like does Iron Man or
Yes.
Spider-Man or
Yes.
anyone else have such but
They all have
such
nemesis.
of
Yes.
course they have a nemesis, but do they have such a perfect nemesis as the Batman versus Joker?
The closest thing I can think of is Superman and Lex Luthor. That's the
But
closest
that's
thing I
all
can think
but
of.
that's
But
also DC, you
so.
know. That's why
But you're right. I mean, I can't think of another comic villain hero duo that has as much, as Batman and the Joker. I think you're definitely right about that.
but I think that the Joker needs Batman the way that Batman needs the Joker. They're kind
Yes.
of like the yin to the yang,
That's been
like,
explored. Yep.
and so they need each other. It's not that there's so much um Batman trying to kill the Joker or vice versa because Batman could have killed the Joker off a long time ago. He's obviously keeps him around because it balances him out. In my
Said
opinion,
Iron Man's nemesis is booze.
booze.
That's true.
Sorry.
He's not. Tony Stark is a raving drunk. Go ahead,
So
Sean.
I thought back in the day, a good person to play he can't play him now, but a good person to play Mr. Freeze. If you ever watched the 1998 animated Batman series, you see how skinny he was. I thought that they should have had Bruce Willis would have been an excellent Mr. Freeze because
Always wanted Patrick Stewart.
Aw, we love
I
him.
Patrick
I
Stewart, that's interesting.
I could and the reasoning is because of the animated series from our childhood, the Kevin Conroy.
I think either or could have pulled it off.
Yeah, for sure. But see,
Um,
the thing about the show is that that reinvented so many characters. from Batman. It reinvented Clayface. It reinvented Two-Face. It reinvented Poison Ivy's origins. It reinvented so many things
I would say
for
that
the better.
I would say that's the real start of like DC.
I wouldn't say that, but
You wouldn't?
definitely a big part of it.
For like the
If
general
if you haven't noticed, if people don't know me, which
Who
people should
doesn't?
by now,
Oh.
if people haven't, Batman is my favorite hero. I mean, well, vigilante.
Got a cow. Show it again.
So
It was kind of, my internet was tripping. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Is that wearable?
yeah.
Nice.
So well, I got you guys here. So
Yeah.
my head's too small for it. Somebody like Schwarzenegger could wear it. That's how big it is. But
Oh, wow. You're going to put it on?
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
It is that one. All right.
Huh.
Looking good. I mean, yeah, you got to puff your face out a little bit, but definitely, yeah. Your head is small in the thing, Sean. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
You gotta push it forward.
Can you
Like-
full screen
That's good
Sean
stuff.
on this screen?
That's good stuff. I love that cow. That's my favorite cow.
Oh.
Period.